recognized for 3 minutes.
I thank the gentleman from Texas for yielding. Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of this legislation, Senate Bill 534. I also want to thank my colleague from the other side of the aisle, co-chair of the Women's Caucus that I co-chair, Representative Lois Frankel of Florida, for helping me get this bill to this point and helping us support Senator Feinstein and Senator Thune as they move the bill in the Senate. In less than 2 weeks, over 200 American athletes will represent our nation at the highest levels of sport in the 2018 Olympic Winter Games in Pyeongchang. These athletes have prepared their entire lives for these games, and their performances are a result of countless hours of practice, self-discipline, and sacrifice. Tragically, we've also learned that many of our young athletes have been subjected to sexual abuse at the hands of those who were supposed to be supporting them reach their Olympic goals. We've seen more than 156 women use their voices to share their agonizing stories of sexual abuse at the hands of a doctor they and their parents were told to trust, Dr. Larry Nassar. Their decision to publicly reveal their traumatic experiences is nothing short of heroic, and was instrumental in ensuring that Nassar will never again touch another young athlete. Now, after a 2016 Indianapolis Star investigation exposed what is now known as the worst sexual abuse scandal in athletics to date, we are taking action to prevent this heinous action from ever taking place again. Today, the House will vote on Protecting Young Victims from Sexual Abuse and Safe Sport Authorization Act of 2017. This bipartisan legislation mandates training, increases requirements for reporting abuse, and reforms a broken system that has failed too many victims. This bill requires any individual who interacts with our amateur athletes to report suspected child abuse, including sexual abuse, within 24 hours. If they fail to do so, they'll be held accountable by the new law. To prevent future emotional, physical, and sexual abuse, this bill designates the United States Center for Safe Sport to develop, implement, and enforce policies, procedures, and mandatory training for national governing bodies and their members. The center will ensure that when reports of abuse are made, they are investigated. It protects those who report abuse from retaliation. And as common sense would dictate, it requires that until the investigation is closed, an adult who is subject to allegations of abuse against a minor is prohibited from interacting with minors. As the Nassar sentencings come to a close and the Olympic Games quickly approach, we are reminded of the importance of protecting the safety and well-being of all of our athletes. Today, we are strengthening protections for victims to ensure transparency and accountability, and putting the safety and the health of our athletes and every young athlete who has ever dreamed of the Olympic stage first. I thank the gentleman for consideration of this bill and urge my colleagues to pass the Senate bill. I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentlelady yields back her time.